Hey y'all, I'm the old man, and we're gonna play Zelda 2, Rescue Mary Sue. Now, the next agenda for this video is I'm going to try my darndest to get through Death Mountain and get the down thrust. That's our mission for this video. Getting through Death Mountain is one of the choke points of the game. Actually, the only choke point, in my opinion. One of the choke points, like the Marsh Cave is for Final Fantasy, where once you've done it, the game gets so much easier. And in this game in particular, there's not really any other challenging spot after that until you get to the Great Palace. Some of the other palaces are hard, but they're not quite so challenging as getting the hammer out of Death Mountain. But what I'm going to do is try to get the I'm just going in here to get my life refilled. Do you do refill life? Or are you the trophy lady? Nope, you're life refill. Thanks, hon. Come back now, y'all. You here? Yeah. So we're gonna try, getting through Death Mountain is a punishing exercise, and it took me forever back in the day, forever to get through Death Mountain and get the hammer. But once you get that hammer, boy, life is sweet. And I'm going to try to get the down thrust first. That's usually what I do, which is in one of the towns, which is in a different town. Oh my word! Kill the thing. Which is in one of the other towns. And once you have the down thrust, you just push down and he stabs, and it's actually a lot easier to... Really? Oh goody. I'm going to die in this stinking cave. There, good. I can't remember what I was gonna say. Down thrust. You push down. You push down, and he stabs, and it damages enemies, and you can kind of bounce off them. And that is very helpful. And if you've ever played, Shovel Knight, which you should have, I mean, if you haven't played Shovel Knight, you need to stop what you're doing. Even if it's watching this video, and go play Shovel Knight. But you need to... it has a down thrust in Shovel Knight, and it's very reminiscent of the down thrust in this game. Also similar to the pogo in DuckTales. But I think it takes its more after the down thrust in here, the way it works. But you should play Shovel Knight, at any rate. You should really be playing it. Because it's an awesome game. The swamp, of course, you move slow through it, and it's really annoying. And if you run into the hard ones, see, the little blobs are easy random encounters, and the evil Ganon-looking things are where's the... Nope, not there. I gotta find Bagoo to get the note to show to the Riverman. I hate those things, the anteaters. There it is. There's Bagoo, hiding in the forest. Give me my note, boy. Shovel Knight's good. You should play it. So the next thing we're going to do is go to this town and get the next spell, which will be awesome because it is the most useful spell in the game. And I will be using it throughout the rest of this video. I think there's a pea bag there, but I'm not going to bother getting it. I'm just going to go through and... Doop doop. So, I talked about Nintendo Power in the first video, I think it was, and I will probably talk a lot about Nintendo Power in these videos. Get her mirror. You have to get the lady's mirror and then give it to her, and then you get the spell. Which I called Nintendo Power about. Speaking of which, yeah. I talk about it a lot, and that's because it was... I mean, it was kind of... It was really one of the foundational pieces of literature for my childhood. There was, like, the Bible, and then there was Nintendo Power. And some days, Nintendo Power probably ranked ahead of the Bible. I'll be honest with you. And, because it was just a fun magazine, and all my friends had it, and It was fun to read. And it made some games a lot more enjoyable. Like, if you didn't have Nintendo Power, then Castlevania 2 was an inscrutable mess. But if you had Nintendo Power, then it was actually kind of enjoyable. And so, as a result, I've always enjoyed Castlevania 2. As I enjoy this game. But I did call Nintendo Power about the trying to get the life spell. Because that was... I didn't know there was anything under that table. It was just an empty room. I was a kid. Not so wily in the ways of the world. Or Nintendo. I do know Bagoo. I hope Bagoo is a reputable person. I mean, he was living in a cabin in the forest, and he just hands letters out to anybody who visits him. I don't know if that's really good enough qualifications to let people across the bridge, but I don't know. Maybe that's why they have such a monster problem in Hyrule, because their security is just not that good. Death Mountain is a maze, and if you... as long as you go to the south and to the west, you're usually okay. That's generally the way to go when you're looking at paths. So you want to go in the southmost path and the westernmost path, if you have a choice. And go jump. Do what you're doing. Thank you. And I don't really need any magic yet. I will, though. And if you do that, you'll pretty much get through this area. At least you won't get lost. You might still not get through the area, but you're not going to get lost. Because, man, this is not easy, y'all. And I hope I don't die. I'm really, really kind of hoping that I don't die. Now, should I just... you know what? I'm just gonna... yep, just take a hit. Because why not? That's what you do. And let's get some life. Yeah, that's really the best spell in this game, is life. I'm glad they put that in there. And I heard somewhere that, like, the drops are like every 8th enemy or something gives you a jar. I haven't bothered to count, but... and one of the reasons why Death Mountain is so hard is these jerks right here. Those axes cannot be blocked by your shield, unless you have Reflect Magic. So you really have to do some fancy footwork to kill them. Otherwise, they're just gonna wreck your day. And this little section's not too bad with the bonefish. And let's see, do I have enough for jump? Yes, I do. Thank goodness. Because this part right here... I got that, that's good. That guy throws the axes. So if you think these guys are bad normally, imagine how bad it is when they throw axes at you. And if you have jump magic, you can just jump over those little things and get past him and not have to fight him. And that guy is one of the reasons why I get the down thrust before I do anything else. Because if you get the down thrust before you do that, then you can... I kill him before I use life. Okay. If you get the down thrust, you can hit those guys on the head, and it's a lot easier than trying to hit them face on, because that's hard. That's not easy to do. All right. I don't know if that was RNG or not. Like I said, I don't really know what the drops are in this game. Come on. Yes. And then we'll use some life again. Sometimes you can't, like, use life twice in a row. You have to, like, open the menu and close it again, and then you can use life again. I always thought this game had a really good soundtrack, too. I always liked the soundtrack to this game. And I remember this was a game, historians will know that this is one of those games that was affected by quote-unquote chip shortages, where Nintendo kind of said, oh, we just don't have enough of these, even though they did, and they were just sort of, you know, increasing demand by holding them back or something. It was shady, at any rate. But I got this for Easter one year. Because I was an only child, and when you're an only child, you do silly things like get presents for Easter, even though it's technically not a present holiday. Okay, that blob is giving me too much trouble. All right, y'all. Good. Now, if we could just go get that down thrust, we'll be good. This area right here is actually where the original Zelda took place, and I never knew that. I always thought it was just... I never knew that till a lot later. But yep, there's the lake and the forest and everything, and that's... So it kind of gives you a... When you know that, it kind of gives you a perspective on just how big this game is as opposed to the original Legend of Zelda. And the original Legend of Zelda, if I haven't talked about it yet, is, in my opinion, one of the few just perfect games ever made. Like, it's... Yes! Oh, good. Those guys will knock you into the pits. Because I haven't had enough of that with other games. Cough, cough. Vice Project Doom. Cough, cough. Yeah, the first Legend of Zelda, one of the most perfect games ever made, in my opinion. And if you haven't played it, you should play it. Seriously, if you haven't played the original Legend of Zelda, I think there's probably something wrong with your brain or something. You really gotta do something about that. And I think the first Zelda really, like, I've read that, what's his name? Miyamoto was inspired to make Legend of Zelda by exploring the hills and his, near his childhood home, and that definitely comes through. That's one of those games where that sense of, oh crap. That sense of, oh crap. Oh gosh. Let's see if I can make it. Oh gosh. Come on! Oh, 2 bubbles. Yes! Oh my word. Oh my word. Anyway, that sense of exploration and fun that he had really shines through in that game, and that's one of the reasons why I love it so much, is because, oh man, that was a trip. That's one of the reasons that Legend of Zelda is my favorite, because it's just so fun to play, and it's so fun to explore, and definitely one of the best games. A nearly perfect game, in my opinion. Up there with Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which is another game that I think is almost perfect. But I'm not going to talk about that now. And here we go. We'll get the down thrust. You have to go into the church. And the church, the second floor of the church somehow leads to a basement where the knight is. Okay, sure. Nintendo logic, you gotta love it. Now life is gonna get a little bit easier for me, because that move right there is a boon. And I can't get the spell in this town yet because we need the hammer. So let's refill our magic, and then in the next video we will try to get the hammer. And that'll be challenge enough for that video, I think. Because seriously, it's hard. And I don't know why I always just jump and shoot when I'm walking. Anyway, join us for the next video, y'all. Thank you for watching.